Mel Gibson co-wrote, co-produced, and directed the film The Passion of the Christ. The film generated over $600 million from theater revenues and another $400 million in DVD sales. Today, we are going to discuss factors that drove it to be a success. Lady bosses, are you working even after putting the kids to bed but still not getting results?
Are you tired of spending money on ads that aren't getting engagement?
Do you feel burdened that you aren't fulfilling your purpose in life because you are so consumed with work?
I'm your host, Brooke Boltz. I'm an attorney and founder of Boltz Legal. I started my business and in 1 year was bringing in 7 figures and am now bringing in multi-7 figures.
And I'm your co-host, Rachel Boltz, owner of Boltz Media. I've helped many businesses build their online presence and increase their revenue through digital marketing.
Want to hear how we did it?
We are here to help you achieve your goals personally, professionally, and spiritually.
So kick off your high heels, sit back, and let's ignite that passion.
We're Miss Biz, where we're putting the Miss in biz.
Let's get biz done. The Passion of the Christ tells the story of the final 12 hours of Jesus' life. Mel Gibson was willing to risk $30 million of his own money to fund this project when no one else in Hollywood would touch it. It is a prime example of the power of strategic marketing. When I first heard about the success of The Passion of the Christ, I assumed it was all related to Christians uniting worldwide to promote and support this movie. And when I came across this article that talked about the strategic marketing that was going on behind the scenes, it really spoke to me and opened my eyes that it was not just an accident or not just by chance that this movie did so well. There were really strategic and impactful marketing efforts happening behind the scenes that I thought we could all learn from and apply to our own businesses.
Yeah, I think that that's a great topic for all business owners to learn what we can do to just truly maximize our strategy. But also, it speaks to the volume of faith that Mel Gibson had in order to put that much money out and risk losing it all was huge, but you know that he must have gotten called by God and led by God to do it, and then led to all of the different avenues that he needed to go through in order to make it successful. So let's talk about the built-in audience. Mel Gibson, an A-list star himself, directed and became the face of the film. This alone attracted significant attention. But more crucially, the story had a built-in audience, millions of Christians worldwide. Understanding and leveraging this target audience was key.
So these are 2 factors that really set up the movie for the potential for success. First is Mel Gibson's involvement. He's a household name. You know that he has been in a number of films. You know that he has the personal budget to make this movie to allow it to be well done. Take out Mel Gibson, you have a whole nother first impression that I think people would have. For me, personally, if you told me there's a Christian film about Jesus' life, my initial reaction would probably be, oh, well, it's probably low budget and it's probably not on the level of what you would expect to see in a movie theater. But when I heard Mel Gibson was associated with it, that whole initial impression changed. And I thought, oh, I am now much more interested in seeing this thing and supporting this movie because it must be well done. So I think that speaks to the reputation that we as business owners have when we roll out a new product or service, that whatever people's experience was with our initial product or service, they are going to take that experience with them when they are judging whether they're interested in your new product or service. So reputation is always important just like in this example, without Mel Gibson, I don't think this movie has the amount of success that it did, even with the same amount of budget, even with the same strategy. Mel Gibson and his reputation, I think, was a key factor in the success. And then second is the built-in target audience, which is the Christians worldwide, and being able to reach that audience and unite them around this movie was also critical to its success.
Well, Mel Gibson was huge at that time. Some of you younger generation might not know who Mel Gibson was, or is, I should say. But Mel Gibson at that time was very big, and he was in multiple movies. And that drew individuals who weren't Christians to go see the film, just because they knew what kind of actor he was and the level of care that he would put into the movie.
One of the most controversial and clever marketing strategies used was the controversy surrounding the film. Initially, debates erupted about whether the film was anti-Semitic. This controversy was not accidental. It was fueled by the producers to keep the film in the public eye. News outlets, rabbis, priests, and pastors all contributed to this dialogue, making ordinary citizens curious enough to see the film for themselves. So this was something mind-blowing for me, that you would intentionally create a controversy around your movie to get it in the public eye. And I have never thought of doing that with my own business. I'm always trying to avoid controversy,
yes,
avoid negative publicity.
Most of us are.
Right. But this really got me thinking, okay, what are some ways maybe that we could implement this into our businesses? It reminds me, I think you told me this, that someone who had a successful podcast said, you want to have X, Y, and Z, and the Z was a little bit of controversy.
Yes. Yep.
Just a little bit of controversy. So that really held true for this movie, that when those allegations of it being anti-Semitic came out, that was intentional. Mm-hmm. They were doing that on purpose to get the chatter started and get people curious about what the movie showed. I thought it was really impactful.
Yeah, and then they're going to want to go see it because they want to see for themselves so they can settle the debate on their end to prove or disprove whatever they thought to be true. So this tactic opened up a new market, Jewish viewers who might have otherwise ignored the film. And as this controversy simmered, another emerged about Mel Gibson's own views and his father's controversial statements. This kept the film in the media spotlight right up to its release.
Right, so they were continually bringing out new controversial allegations regarding the video all the way up till its release to keep the chatter going. And I think it's also that first sentence you said is really true, that Jews would not want to see ordinarily a film about Jesus's life. But when people are saying it's anti-Semitic, now all of a sudden they're like, well, I need to judge this for myself. Yes. So you're getting these people coming and watching your video or your movie who never otherwise would have done it. It's just really mind-blowing to me, the thought that went behind how to build these controversial debates and discussions to promote the video.
Yeah, and I mean, they're going to have these debates with their friends, and then their friends are going to want to see it, and so forth. So it's just going to continue to spread and get people wanting to see it for themselves.
Mm-hmm. Do you love the Miss Biz podcast?
Because we love you.
Here's 3 things you can do to show your support.
1, write us a review. Apple or Spotify are the best platforms for reviews.
2, join us for our free Friday Zoom calls at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. To RSVP, go to MissBiz.com homepage. Scroll down to Miss Biz Connects and click the link.
3, follow us on social media. Our handle is @MissBizPodcast.
As always, Thank you for your support. So it wasn't just about the controversy, though. Mel Gibson and his team executed a well-orchestrated grassroots marketing campaign. They had 30 invitation-only screenings that were held for high-level church leaders and heads of evangelical organizations. This was a masterstroke in targeting key influencers who could spread the word within their communities. So I've also, when reading this, I'm thinking, okay, who are those influential people in my world, in my industry, that I could do something like this, that I can invite to, for them, it was a private screening. And who's not going to be honored to go to the private screening? These are the most influential people who lead churches, who are your target audience. And so you're doing all these private screenings, inviting the leaders of these churches. Once they see it, they're now going back and spreading the word among their congregation. I can honestly remember sitting in church back at that time and having the pastor encouraging us from the pulpit to go watch this movie. And it's just, and I don't know if he had been to one of these screenings or not, but somebody had seen it, and somebody was, they were promoting it. And so this was just another really wise marketing decision that they made. Not even an expensive one, a grassroots type of campaign to just invite those influential people to see the movie first, to then be the spokespeople promoting the movie to their audiences.
So when I think about what we can do with our businesses, I think about who are your key referral partners, because those are the individuals that you're going to want to invite to these special debuts or events that are taking place. So like for you, Brooke, it would be the roofers that you work with, the chiropractors that you work with, the people who are helping you build your business.
Right. But what do I invite them to is the thing. Like they have, when you have a movie, you invite people to the special screening, and I'm trying to think of what is the example of what I invite these people to that makes them feel like they are a part of the business in a way that makes them want to talk about it and refer people. That's where I
have an idea, but I don't know if we can share it right here. So
okay.
I'll talk to you about it later on the DL.
Okay. I'm excited.
So church leaders, they were given materials to promote the movie within the congregations. Door hangers, invitation cards, Bible study guides, and it was a coordinated effort that created immense anticipation. So this is very smart that they used very specific marketing materials and then gave them to the people that they knew would distribute it. Yes. And not only that, but these were useful things as well, like the Bible study guide. That is something that a true Christian is really going to appreciate. And then every time that they look at that Bible study guide or the door hanger or whatever the case may be, they're going to be reminded of that upcoming movie that you've got to come see.
Yes. And it is so inexpensive because they're not like, otherwise how are you getting these door hangers out? You're mailing them. Mm-hmm. Or you're hiring people to go distribute them, like a cold call type thing, just passing them out to random businesses or random churches or random
places. And that's not going to have as much impact.
Correct. So in the pastors were so bought in because of the message of Jesus's life. And so trying to find something that they buy into, that they are passionate about, that they want to spread the word about, is what got these pastors to do all this free promotion for this movie.
Well, that's the pastor's job, is to spread the gospel of Christ. That is their main calling in life, is they want to save as many people. So then they get to see these previews of this incredibly beautiful film where it's telling the story of Jesus. I mean, of course, they want everybody in the congregation and everybody in the entire world even to be able to see that.
So a light bulb just went off in my head when you said it's the pastor's job. So the way I'm thinking that could be applied to our businesses is, what is their job? So let's go back to a roofer example that you mentioned. So if for roofers who I want to relate to and build relationship with, what is the roofer's job? The roofer's job is whatever. So, and I don't know the full roofer job. I'm not going to go through everything I know, but like, what is their job? What would help make their job easier? What would help make them more successful in their job? What would make them look good to their customers or their clients? If there's a resource I can give them, maybe a handout or something that is going to help them in their interactions with their customers, then they in turn are going to give it out and promote it and do this essential promoting something that is useful to these people,
Right.
which in turn promotes my business if I'm the one who created the material. So I think that's the key. What you said is what is their job? Who is your target? Who are your referral sources? Who are your golden geese? What is their job? What makes their job easier? What would make them look good to their customers? Because at the end of the day, although there's a faith component, obviously, for the pastors, promoting this movie and it also helps their business, their church.
Yes.
Because it is something that they're offering and they're promoting, and the stronger that people's faith is, the more they like the video, the more it invigorates them or restores their commitment to coming to church each week. So it not only strengthens someone's personal faith, but it also may strengthen their commitment to the church as well. So the pastor is also incentivized to promote this to his audience.
And to bring in more members, because every pastor that I know, they want more people in the congregation. They want that church packed to the max. So of course they're going to be promoting it, because that could potentially lead people to Christ, which would then in turn lead them to their congregation.
The materials included everything from DVD trailers to sermon suggestions. Churches even received customizable commercials, blending footage from the film with local church promotions. This innovative approach ensured that the film reached its core audience effectively and engaged them in meaningful ways. And this goes back to what we were just talking about. If you take a clip from The Passion of the Christ and then you put the local church promotion in there too, by the way, come to our service at 10 a.m. on Sunday morning, now the church is like, definitely.
Yes. We just made them look incredibly good, because Mel Gibson, they're going to be on that same like Hollywood A-lister type of level.
Yeah. So this is so smart from a marketing strategy or marketing standpoint, that you take what you want them to use and you give them the opportunity to benefit from it themselves by also promoting their church. Mm-hmm. So these are the things to think about. How can I put together what I want them to share, but also makes them look good?
And the marketing efforts, they didn't stop there. Traditional methods like email from Amazon, TV show appearances, the newspaper, different advertisements, they were all put together by unique products, from book tie-ins to pewter nails, to the Passion capitalized on its religious themes to create a range of merchandise that flew off the shelves.
The pewter nail pendants is the little, you probably saw these, the nails that are in the shape of the cross. Have you seen that? Like a hammer and a nail, like a nail like they put into Jesus' arms, and they put it in the shape of a cross. You never saw those? I saw those passed out a lot back during that time, but also now. So the nails that were put into Jesus' hands and feet were made into cross-shaped pendants, which were just a symbol, just like any cross is anywhere you see, of someone's faith. So just all the different promotional products really that were being used as well really help to provide additional marketing. So also the film's release date. It was released on Ash Wednesday, which was another brilliant move. It aligned perfectly with a time when many people are already contemplating the story of Jesus, making them more likely to watch the film. So in relating this to our businesses, timing is so important. When you release something is sometimes just as important as what you release. I just was invited to be a panelist on a hurricane preparedness event, and because he initially scheduled it in June, he wasn't getting the turnout that he wanted and ended up postponing it by a couple months, and it was because of the timing. June is a month when people are traveling, and it's just hard to get an audience together. And also hurricane season, although it starts in June, people don't really start getting in the hurricane mindset until September, when we usually get hit.
Right.
So in him moving the date to August, which is just before we usually get hit with hurricanes, it's going to be much more top of mind for people. They're going to be much more motivated to attend, and they're going to be back from all their summer vacations. Yeah. So it was just an example of how timing is important. And this was just another example with releasing the film on Ash Wednesday. You don't want to be whack. Cuckoo. We will cut you some slack.
We got you.
You just want to make a big stack.
Ballin'.
Listen to our biz hack. Are you struggling to engage viewers on Instagram Reels? With 75% watching without sound, captions are key. Adding captions boosts accessibility, engagement, and comprehension.
Here's how to add captions to your Instagram Reels. First, open Instagram, hit the plus sign, and select Reels. Second, record or upload your video. Third, click the sticker icon and select the caption sticker to auto-generate subtitles. Finally, edit for accuracy, customize the style, and hit publish.
Let's elevate your engagement.
So what can we learn from this? So here are a few marketing takeaways. Leverage built-in audiences. This is huge. Understand your core audience and tailor your marketing efforts to their interests and values. And I agree with this wholeheartedly in terms of it needs to be every aspect of it, from your tone of voice, your visual. You want to be talking like you're talking to that one person in the room.
Yeah, who is the built-in audience for your business? For Passion of the Christ, it was Christians, but your business has a built-in audience. You just have to identify who it is. My husband, who's creating a video game, gamers are his built-in audience. Gamers.
I thought you were going to say nerds.
True. We call them nerd games in our house. The board games. He's going to play some nerd games tonight. So yes,
the game is awesome though. I can't knock it.
Yes, and we love nerds, so no bashing of nerds. Nerds are great.
We are nerds. We just act like we're not.
Yeah, speak for yourself. I'm married to a nerd. I don't identify as a nerd, but
she's a nerd.
Anyways, who's your built-in audience? Figure this out. For him, it's gamers, and gamers are passionate about games. Boy, you get in a conversation with a gamer about a game, you just better plan to be there a while, because they are passionate. So who are the people who are passionate about whatever you have to offer? Figure out who your built-in audience is as step one.
Create and control controversy. So controversy, when managed carefully, it can drive immense interest and media coverage. They say that if people aren't talking about you, you aren't doing anything.
Yes. So this is tough, because it requires you putting on a hat and building a thick skin to be able to deal with the negative that comes with controversy. I mean, for me, I think the closest thing I've gotten to it is the music videos that we do. We just filmed another one. It's going to be aired soon. It's music parody, and it's not typical for a law firm to do something like this. And so I'm hoping to get the chatter going. I'm hoping that people are going to talk about it and say, did you see what Brooke Bolts is doing now? Like, she's out of her mind. You know, just whatever they may say, getting that conversation going is what I'm trying to do with that out of the box marketing attempt.
Mm-hmm. Also, grassroots campaigns. That's where you're going to engage community leaders and influencers to spread your message authentically. So you're going to get in contact with the big people in your industry and have them help spread the message.
When you mentioned that, what came to mind for me is some of the community leaders that I've connected with in, say, the last year, one of which is the president of the local Chamber of Commerce. She obviously is well connected. She knows every business that's a part of the chamber, and she's a community leader. And so we went to lunch one time and we just had a wonderful conversation. It was almost like we were like instant friends. And so she doesn't necessarily have that, she's not necessarily part of my built-in audience per se, but she is a community leader and an influencer, and so having that relationship in advance may cause her to help promote anything that I put out there on social media, if it's something she can get behind. So just having those relationships with community leaders and influencers is always helpful and useful, but identifying them first in this kind of intentional way, like they did with the preachers and the pastors and the leaders of churches, and offering them something special or reaching out to build that relationship is what works so effectively for Passion of the Christ.
Another marketing takeaway is timing. Timing is everything. So you're going to want to release your product or your service at a time that maximizes relevance and impact. So a lot of times it can be like a notable day of the year, whether it's a holiday or something of that nature, but it could also be something special that is yours. It could be like your 1-year anniversary type of thing where you're rolling out a new product or service, just something that can build some anticipation around it.
Another spin-off idea with regard to timing is what's trending. And we were just talking about our episode that referenced the Baby Reindeer movie has gotten a lot of downloads, more so than some of our other episodes, even though the subject matter that we were talking about, naming your business, we didn't expect to be one of our top downloaded episodes. So, but I think the timing of it coming out, talking about Baby Reindeer, which is a really popular Netflix series right now, really allowed our episode to attract attention that it wouldn't have otherwise gotten if we had put out that episode a year from now or a year ago. It wouldn't have had the same relevance or impact.
Yeah, I agree. Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Meet our expert team at Miss Biz.
Whether you need help with business strategy, brand development, or digital marketing, we have a personalized one-on-one coaching program just for you.
And if you're looking for something more budget-friendly, our group coaching services offer incredible value and the chance to learn alongside like-minded entrepreneurs.
Transform your business today. Visit missbiz.com and start your journey to success.
And merchandising, it matters. You're going to want to extend your brand through related products that appeal to your audience's passions. So just as we learned with the Passion of the Christ film, Mel Gibson and the leaders involved, they were using very specific merchandise that would appeal to the big church leaders so that they could continue to spread the message.
The church leaders and also the Christians who would be receiving these things. I think that the nails in the form of a cross, for example, were not something that said Passion of the Christ or Mel Gibson on them. They were things that they probably thought, this is a little cross just like a rosary that Catholics carry with them or display with them. This cross is something that someone can put on their desk or put in a drawer or put in their car or put somewhere as a reminder that Christ is with them. And so they were when they were thinking of these products, they were thinking of the Bible study, for example, something that's useful that the recipients could use. They weren't giving out mugs that said Passion of the Christ on them. They were trying to give out useful things that were relevant to the subject matter, but most importantly, something that someone would want to receive and be able to use and remind them of their faith.
So the Passion of the Christ, it's a prime example of how effective marketing can turn a niche film into a global phenomenon by blending controversy, strategic partnerships, and a deep understanding of its audience. The film not only achieved commercial success, but also left a lasting impact on religious and mainstream media alike.
Psalm 34:8. Oh, taste and see that the Lord is good. Blessed is the man who takes refuge in him.
We appreciate you and are honored to be on this journey with you. We can't wait to help you, to encourage you, and show you how to grow personally, professionally, and spiritually.
If you found Miss Biz helpful, please leave a review and share with others.
You can follow us on social media at Miss Biz Podcast.
For legal questions or services, please visit boltslegal.com.
And for digital marketing needs, please visit boltsmedia.com. Let's get biz done.